So for you today, I have a review of a product that I've had for a couple of months now, and I've kind of figured out my stance on it. It took me a while. This was not like a first impressionable product. I actually tried to shoot one, and then my opinion kept changing, and it was a whole big thing. So now I've stopped, I've collaborated and listened, and I figured out my opinion. And what I'm talking about here is the L'Oreal Pro Glow Foundation. So if we take a look at the packaging here, on the front it says up to 24-hour foundation. It says it's the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. Mine's in the shade 202 Creamy Natural. Turn it around and the back says lasting glow, never dull, never greasy. It's got kind of this chart here, which I appreciate from the L'Oreal products. So this one it says it has a radiant finish. It wears up to 24 hours. It's got medium coverage, and it's got air light texture, and it says, pro tip, dot onto skin in rolling motion for flawless coverage. And then for even further information, let's take a look at the Walmart Canada website. We're going to look at the Walmart Canada website rather than the L'Oreal Paris website for two reasons. One, I couldn't get the L'Oreal Paris website to load. And second of all, I'm pretty sure the Infallible Pro Glow Foundation, at least when it launched in the States, was a Walmart exclusive. So I don't know if it is here as well, but we're going to go with it this way. So at Walmart, it apparently retails for $16.96. It comes in, a couple of colors, but for the most part, I think the color range is disgusting. It's really just for middle-of-the-road skin tones. There's definitely not enough light colors, and there is definitely not enough dark colors. Like, holy moly, L'Oreal, what are you doing? But, whatever, that aside, we scroll down and we take a look at the description and features, and it says, long wear without compromise, introducing the new pro look of long wear, Infallible Pro Glow. This long wear foundation gives a radiant finish with an all-day hydration and comfort. Achieve a lasting glow that is never dull, never greasy with this air light 24-hour foundation. And then the bullet points over here, it says, up to 24-hour fresh glow finish. Never dull, never greasy, all-day hydration and comfort, air light texture, medium coverage, and buildable, normal to dry skin. Here's what's taken me so long to do a video on this foundation, because often I will try a foundation specifically, and it's very much so my first impression of it is what sticks. Like, I try a foundation and I know if I'm going to love it or if I hate it immediately, because it's just like a texture thing, it's a consistency thing, and some just wear better than others, and, I know. But this one was hard, because it's a very, very thin, watery formula with a decent amount of pigmentation in it. And in theory, it was all the things that I would want from a foundation, but I couldn't get it to work for me right away. And so it kind of left me not knowing what to do. Do I like it? Do I not like it? Do I try with other products to try to like it? Do I, My cons of this foundation are that it says it's a hydrating foundation, but I don't find it to be hydrating enough. When you have a long wear foundation, here's what they always kind of do. You put them on and they look nice, but to be long wearing, they kind of shrink wrap to your skin. And because my skin, especially the very surface of my skin, is so dry, when it shrink wraps like that, it really dries out the surface, and I get really crackly and really old looking, and then it looks really not good. So that's what this foundation does to me. And so for the longest time, I didn't like it because no matter what I was doing, by the end of the day, it looked really gross on my skin. So Air Light, I don't know if I would give it Air Light because it was looking really cakey and heavy and kind of gross on my skin. And Pro Glow, but glow doesn't really help if my skin looks really wrinkly. And then my other big problem with this foundation, other than the whole shrink wrap drying to my skin thing, is that it really accentuated my pores, which is something I've never experienced with a foundation before. I don't really have super big pores on my face. I've never had that problem before, and I found that this was really accentuating pores everywhere, especially around my mouth, especially on the apples of my cheeks, like places that I've never had a pore problem before. This was creating one. And so for those two reasons, those are big reasons, if I was judging this foundation the way I usually judge a foundation just by itself without the help of any other product, all of that, I would not like this foundation. I wouldn't recommend it. I would probably never wear it again. But if I'm being honest, I figured out a system with other products to pair it with so that it looks really good and it lasts all day. And because these are products that I'd be using anyway, in the sense that I'm always going to wear a primer and a setting powder and that sort of thing, I don't mind picking these ones specifically if it's going to give me a really great outcome. And they're all pretty inexpensive products. And so therefore, even though I don't like this foundation by itself, with the help of these other products, I actually really like how it wears. And I wear it almost every day. I'm wearing it right now even. So you'll see in this application clip here, my favorite way to apply it is to just squish it out onto the back of my hand and then use a big kabuki brush to kind of stipple it into my skin and then buff it out. That's the best way that I found to do it. I would not recommend using a beauty blender or a sponge of any sort for this foundation because it is so water-based. Your sponge is going to suck it all up and you're going to waste so much product. So don't be afraid to run over your skin after with a beauty blender just to kind of help blend things out. But definitely start with a brush or even just your hands just to like do that. And this foundation by itself, when you first put it on, does look really nice. It's just later in the day that I found it looked gross. But this foundation, coupled with the primer that I choose to wear it with, which in this case is the Sephora Ultra Smoothing Primer. It's one of those really silicone-y pore filling primers. I bought it forever ago to wear with a different foundation, and I didn't really like it with that one, but with this one, I love it. It definitely blurs my pores and fills everything and makes it look nice. And then on top of it, as long as I use like a really good setting powder, the combination is so good and my makeup lasts all day. And I always carry around, depending on the foundation I'm wearing, this is so extra, but I always either carry around blotting papers or a facial mist, sell them both. So I either need to rehydrate my skin or I need to blot. And so whenever I wear this one, I just make sure that I carry around a hydrating mist so that when it starts to get shrink wrapped and dry, I can just spray it to rehydrate it. So as of right now, I've had this foundation on for about, what time is it? I've had this foundation on for about 10 hours and I think it looks really good. Still, like it still looks like it looked when I first put it on. And so with that being said, I mean, I'm willing to work at this foundation. My review and my feelings about this foundation are kind of confusing because if we're judging it just by itself, based on how it operates by itself, I don't like it. But with the combination of products that I have been able to figure out, it is my like favorite thing to wear because my all-time favorite foundation, if you watch my Ride or Die Tag video, is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation, but that one's like $60, whereas this one is $16, so I'd rather just go through this one a million times rather than the other one a million times, right? So, yeah, I don't know. That's what's going on. Nothing's right, I'm torn. So I'm sorry if you find this review very confusing. I myself am confused. If you have used this foundation yourself, make sure you let me know in the comments below what you thought of it, what your experience was, because I would love to hear that. If you liked it by itself, if you liked it with other products, all that. I want to hear your opinion so that you can help me make a better, firmer opinion about this for myself. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and you subscribe if you have not subscribed already. I will see you next time. Bye!